All right, we're going to kick things off. I want to say, first of all, good morning to everyone. It's been a few years since we've had an in-person meeting. It's nice to see the faces here, so thank you guys for taking a moment and coming out. Also, thank you for those of you who picked up your shirts. We distributed a few shirts this morning, so thank you guys for that. As we get started, I want to make a few introductions so that we can put names to faces. As most of you know, my name is Rick Santos. I am the Baker to Vegas race coordinator. To my left, I have a couple of folks. First of all, I have Adina. She is my assistant coordinator. And I have the Baker to Vegas race chair, Amanda Langford. Both of them will take a moment in just a second to speak. And on cue, as always, Ruben Crane got up and walked away. So there he is. Ruben Crane is now to the rear. That's our general manager. You'll hear from him from time to time. And the president of the club is Ruben Gonzalez. Unfortunately, he couldn't make it. He's not feeling well. So he didn't have a chance to get out here, but he wanted to say welcome to all of you guys. So with that being said, I'm going to hand the mic off to Amanda. You want to say a few words?
Good morning, everyone. My name is Amanda Langford. I'm the race director. I'm one of the board members of LAPRAC. So on behalf of the board, we just want to say thank you to everyone for coming out this year. If you're new to the race, welcome. And if you're returning, we really appreciate everyone coming out and supporting the race. It means a lot to us. This is our biggest event, and we really want to try to keep it going and keep the numbers strong. Bear with us, please, on, I know we increased costs this year, but everything is increasing, as everyone knows. So it is costing us a lot more money to put the race on, and we're trying to keep the costs to everyone else minimal, the increase, but it is a lot to put on this race this year, a lot of increases. So we appreciate the support again, and if you have any questions or any questions for me or Rick, you can always contact me. If you contact the LAPRAC number and then push the option for Baker to Vegas, it goes directly to my cell phone. If I don't answer, leave a message and I will call you back, but I'm always reachable there or by email, b2vdirector@laprac.com. And if I can't answer the question, I will either find the answer for you or get you over to Rick and he can help you further. So again, thank you so much for coming and thank you for supporting the event.
Thank you, Amanda. Next, coming up to say a few words is Adina.
Hi, everybody. Good morning. I just wanted to reintroduce myself. Some of you may know my name is Adina Garcia. I'm the assistant coordinator for Baker to Vegas. One of my main projects is going to be the volunteers. So if you have not already or your team has not already submitted your volunteer information, please do that as quickly as possible so we can get those assignments taken care of. And for anything else you may need throughout the race process, please do feel free to reach out to me. I will always be readily available. If I don't have the answers, I'll ask Rick and we'll get them for you. So that's it.
Okay, there's a few people I want to acknowledge before we get into the information, and sometimes this gets overlooked. These folks are listed on our website, but they are very crucial to the race. They are all of our sponsors. The first sponsor is our title sponsor, and that's the Los Angeles Police Federal Credit Union. I'm going to go through these, and then there's a few that are going to come up and speak. Our platinum sponsors are Verizon. They are our official race communications. Those of you guys who do not know, Verizon plays a very vital part in the communication side and keeping us all safe out there. For the medical side, they are huge. Also, we have California Highway Patrol Credit Union. Our gold sponsors are Los Angeles Police Protective League, Police Officers Professional Association Credit Union, and World Financial Group. Silver sponsors are Mobile Relay and Associates. That's Mark Abrams. They're the ones with the radios. National Life Group, Diplomatic Security Service. Our official race medical group is Arrowhead. I don't know if you guys realize how much medical staff we have out there. I mean, honest to goodness, this is a very safe race. Unfortunately, we do have people going down, and we'll talk a little bit more about that. But we have doctors, nurses, especially on the front half of the race where we have most of our incidents. And that's because of Arrowhead. So our official medical support team is Pulsera. They're new to the team, but play a vital part in making sure that the medical team has all of your information and can get it over to the hospital if necessary. We have a vendor booth sponsor. They're the ones who put everything up for us, and that's Starsnowski's. Our water supplier is 7-Eleven, and signs is Smitty. So for those of you who need your numbers or any other types of signs, Smitty's God, he's been our go-to guy for years. He should be here at some point today. Hopefully he'll make it. But from what I understand, he is en route. So I'm going to back up, and I believe our title sponsor would like to say a few words. So Los Angeles Police Federal Credit Union, you guys. Coming up to speak for them is Natalie Nahas. She's got a few words for y'all.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Natalie Nahas with the Los Angeles Police Federal Credit Union. Thank you for the warm introduction. Some of you guys may be familiar with us. We are law enforcement's premier credit union. We've been around since 1936, founded by LAPD. So thank you guys. And here we are in 2023. We have about 42,000 members and about 1.4 billion in asset size. So for the longest, since about 2008, we've been supporting the Baker to Vegas race. The last 5 years, I would say, as title sponsor. But what makes us a proud partner is that not only do we support the race, but we support individual teams. So you guys may have received some communication mentioning that how we can support your teams. The way we go about doing that is that we give each team a check for about $750. And I will mention that it has increased by 50% based off of what we were giving in the past, because obviously everything's gotten expensive. However, we are only eligible to folks, agencies, both sheriffs and PDs in San Bernardino, Riverside, Ventura County, and Orange County. So in addition to LA County. So again, we're a proud sponsor. We try to support you guys because we know that coming up with funds is kind of challenging. I have a flyer at our booth. So if you guys want to learn about how we can support you guys, feel free to come on and talk to us. I do have about 20 checks here for the teams that have already reached out to me. So come on by and see if one of your checks is yours. So in addition to that, we'll also be at the race, both at the Sheriff Homicide Barbecue and also at the award ceremony. So feel free to stop by, chat with us, grab some free swag and so on. And we've got some mugs for you guys to take back to your teams. So wish you all the very best, and come by, speak to us, and seek us out, find out how we can help support your teams. Thank you.
Thank you, Natalie. Honest to goodness, guys, I reached out to the credit union a long time ago when I started being team captain, and it's a very simple process. I've never had a team come up to me and say, dude, I've got way too much money. All right, so take advantage, reach out to them. It's a very simple process, like I said, and the race is very grateful that you guys have been the title sponsor now for a few years, so thank you guys. Next, I've got a longtime friend, Jesus. Javier and I go way back, and he's with his group here, and Javier is going to talk to you a little bit about another fundraising possibility. Javier is a former law enforcement officer with LAPD. He's moved on to greener pastures, if you will. Without further ado, Javier, stage is yours.
Thank you, sir. Good morning. Just real quick, wanted to make you aware of that yellow piece of paper that's at your table. We are going to do several things here today. We're going to start off with the raffle for a brand new Fire tablet. If you're interested in that, absolutely free. Also, we're taking dates for the fundraising barbecues. We've helped raise hundreds of thousands of dollars for numerous teams throughout the last 20 plus years I've been involved with Baker to Vegas. And then this year, we also have a few blocks left of rooms. If anybody here needs help with a free room. We do have a block of rooms available for the dates for the race itself. You are responsible, somebody in the room's got to pay the taxes. We can't help you with that. And it's only $18 a night plus the resort fee. Vegas has that damn thing that, we get nothing for in return. But anyways, so if you're interested in learning about anything I just mentioned, raising money for your team, I'm telling you, money's not everything, but it ranks up there with oxygen when it comes to Baker to Vegas. And I just hope you're not that team that has to drop out at the last minute because you just don't have enough money. And so let's go ahead and get you some of the money that your team needs. Just drop off the form at the table right there, the 3 people standing right there, and we can go ahead and we're going to raffle this off at the end of the event. So please don't go anywhere in case you win it. You can take home with you the tablet as well. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you.
All right. And then, of course, I would be remiss not to acknowledge our volunteers. Our volunteers, gosh, they are a big part of this race. They are, and this term gets used quite a bit, but in sometimes gets overused, but not in this case for sure, are all of our race volunteers. And that comes from our RV support staff, those that are handing out the bibs to you guys out there, our medical radio network who sets up the system there so our medical response teams can communicate. Our medical team, as I've mentioned before, they're there at MedBase as well as throughout the course. Our communications team, and I know I'm going to forget somebody, our safety patrol, our HAMS operators, all those folks. I don't know if you guys are all aware, but they don't get paid. They're there because they really dig the race. They are all about the race. They respect what you men and women do, and they come out and happily, and you guys run through the desert. They're there from sun up to sundown, in the heat, in the cold, in the wind. It doesn't matter if it's raining, whatnot. They're there the entire time. So please, I want to say thank you to them if they are watching. But if not, as you guys go through the course, please say hello, say thank you. Be patient with them. Okay, I know sometimes we're not the best at predicting what traffic's going to be like, and we come flying in and want to get our bibs and get out because our runner's coming in. But just be patient with them, and like I said, just tell them thank you, because this race does not operate without them. All right, get going with some of the meeting stuff. The YouTube channel. If you guys haven't already checked it out, please make sure that you're on it as we continue to go through and get closer to race date. I'm going to start posting more things throughout the week. Every Monday morning, like clockwork, I'm putting something out. And honest to goodness, I'm trying to keep it as short as possible. I'm trying to just stay put out relevant information. I think the longest video I put out was 6 minutes, and I really felt bad putting out a 6-minute video. I'm trying to keep everything 2, 3, maybe 4 minutes long, but it's important information that you guys need to know with dates and things like that. So make sure that you guys are monitoring that. And like I said, especially when we get out to Vegas, it's not the easiest thing to send out emails to all of you guys at once. So the easiest thing for me to do is create a quick video, send it over to Ruben Crane so he can post it on our YouTube channel. So make sure that you guys are monitoring that. Room reservations. I don't know how many of you guys are aware of this. I'm not a huge NCAA fan, but the NCAA tournament is going to be going on while we're out there. And if I'm not mistaken, it's either Final Four weekend or the Elite Eight, one or the other. So rooms are going to go pretty quick. I hear that's a big event out in Vegas, right? Something about gambling. So make sure that you guys are booking your rooms. Once we're done with our block, that's it. And I keep saying that over and over again because inevitably, somebody will come up just like last year. Hey, I didn't get a chance to book my room. Do you guys have anything left? Is there any way to still get that discounted rate? And unfortunately, the answer is no, because once they're gone, they're gone. For those of you guys who don't know, you can jump on the website, bakervegas.net, go under travel and accommodations, and there's a link there. It says host hotel. You just click on that and you can book your rooms that way. The one thing is if you're going to come in late, let's say you're coming in late on Friday because of traffic, just put in the notes there that you will be there late. So that way they hang on to your room. It's very important that you make that notation. The rental vehicles, if you're renting, if you're gonna use the discount through LapRack, again, same tab. Instead of clicking host hotel, you're gonna click enterprise. And you're going to just follow the directions there and get your rental vehicle. There is one part, and this came up last year as people were trying to check out. When you try and check out, it will ask you, the question is, are you traveling on behalf of LapRack for this rental? If you check yes, you will not be able to complete the process. So the answer to that question is no. Make sure that you check off the no box, and then you'll be able to complete the reservation. The head of agency form, I sent out the link to all of you if you did not get it. If you go onto the bakervegas.net website, in the search box, type in head of agency form, hit return. It'll automatically take you to that link. You just click on that and fill out that information. And for those of you who are wondering, what is that? Well, what it is it's the Chiefs mixer. Your Chiefs are welcome to the mixer on Sunday night. It actually has turned into an award ceremony where we're acknowledging our winners of our volunteers, and we're acknowledging some of our other participants, people who are supporting the race, our other supporters such as Baker School District, Caltrans, a few other folks. And we give all the awards that night. So if your Chiefs are interested in attending, please make sure that you go ahead and you fill out that form. The due date on that is February 25th. I hadn't put that out yet, but make sure that you guys have that in by February 25th. The registration system. Okay. Make sure you know your credentials. Your username is your email address, and make sure you know your password. If you don't know your password, just reach out to me. I will reset it, but please make it as simple as possible so that way you guys don't forget it once I reset it. And I say that because a lot of you guys are going to start reaching out to me because that's where you're going to place your runners. And a lot of you guys are going to start reaching out to me, and when you guys all reach out at once, it gets a little hectic. So make sure that you write your credentials down, put them somewhere so you have them, because you're going to have to use that site. You're going to have to use that site for any category changes at this point forward. If you're going to change categories, make sure that you're doing it there on the site. Just do it automatically. You're going to submit your times because that's coming up as well. You're going to submit that there. And assigning your numbers like I talked about, as well as the final run plan. All of that's going to go through that website. So you need to make sure that you know what your passwords are. Bib photos are due on February 20th. If you have multiple photos, multiple people that you want on your bib, that's not a problem. The only thing is you have to create that collage. I don't have the ability to do that. I don't know how to do that. So if you do it and you send it over to me, it should not be an issue, but that's something that you guys have to handle on your end. The category form, that's due on February 8th. I need to make sure that I have that to me. Here's a big note for you guys. If you change categories after that date and you end up in a position where you would have mugged and plaqued, notice I said would have, you will not receive a mug and plaque. All right, and these dates are set by our vendors. We have to put in an order, and it's not fair to the teams that, hey, we've set our category, we've put all our stuff in at the proper time, to get bumped out by somebody who changed. Now, I don't have a problem with you guys changing because I want you guys to run the race in the proper category. But if you have to change last minute, because we had some of those last year where, especially with the mixed category, all of a sudden, some of the females went down and they couldn't find additional females, then we'll go ahead and we'll change you the category, but you will not be eligible for a plaque and a mug. So just make note of that. And like I said, that's due on February 8th. And while we're on the topic of plaques and mugs, if you haven't realized, and I say that because I've put it out a couple of times, we are not going to give out finisher plaques this year. The only way you're getting a plaque is if you place in the top 50%. So if you're getting mugs, then you're getting a plaque. If you're not getting mugs, you're not getting a plaque. And a big driving force behind that is the 4 large boxes of finisher plaques that I still have down below. So on that note, if you didn't receive your finisher plaque and you want it, I've got them down below. So come and see me at the end and we'll try and make sure you guys get those. Communications, make sure that you watch the video. I sent out a link. If you don't have that link, I'll send it out again one more time. Watch that video. It has all the answers to your questions in regards to communications. Last year, we were very lenient, or I was very lenient with some of the forms and due dates, and mostly because, hey, we were all coming back from COVID. The race hadn't happened in a couple of years. And I get it. It was my first year. It's a lot of your guys' first year as team captains, and we were very lenient. However, you know, it was made clear to me the importance of, you know, all the dates, but especially this communications one. We have to make sure that this is all done by the date. And the form opens up on the 11th and it's due on the 4th of March. So February 11th, it opens up, it is due March 4th. So it's not like, hey, 75% or 80% of everybody turned it in. Jeff can get working on it. Jeff's our head communications guy. That's not how it works. Jeff can't get moving on this until everybody turns it in. So that holds up everything for everybody. If you don't get that form in, there's an actual rule applied to this that if it's not in on time, you will be penalized. I think the penalty is like a 5-minute penalty. It's kind of rough to start your race 5 minutes down already. So please, there's no need for it. It's really simple. I figured it out. So, hey, it's pretty easy. You just got to click on the link, answer a few questions. If you don't know the answers to the questions, just stop where you're at, shoot me an email or shoot Jeff an email, and we'll get that answered. And then you guys can finish up with your questions there. Estimated time is due March 1st. I've got to have that in because it's almost like as soon as you guys send that to me, you guys want to know what your start time is. You guys got to give me a little bit of time here. That's just kind of how you guys work, and I get it. I've been in your shoes. But if it gets to me by March 1st, it'll probably take me about a week or so to put all that together. If it's done properly, and I'll start putting that together and get it out to you guys as quickly as possible. I know everybody wants to know. I get that, but a good measure is you can always look at last year's stuff. Most teams are probably going to be right around the same time, and that'll probably be close to your start time, unless you had a drastic change. Trademark agreements. I know you guys are all creating your stuff to sell to your agencies to make money because those are your fundraisers. The only thing that we ask is for the club to protect the logo is to complete the trademark agreement. Again, that's on our bakervegas.net website. It doesn't take much. It asks a few questions. It asks you to upload the artwork and then submit. It goes over to Mr. Crane here. He looks through it and he'll get you a response in a timely manner. So just make sure that you guys are using that. It's not that difficult. It's pretty quick. And like I said, Ruben gets it back out to you guys pretty quickly. So please take a moment and do that if you haven't already. Here's a big one. Everyone reaches out to me and asks me, hey, where are those elevation charts? All right, some of you guys right now. The problem is, and I tried this last year, is I don't have accurate stage numbers to them. And I've looked and I can't seem to find somebody to put together new ones. I tried sending them out last year with the explanation of, hey, these are off by a number because it was during construction that they were put together, and it just created more confusion. That's why I hesitate to put them out. The descriptions, however, are in the rule book, which is on the bakervegas.net website, as well as in your registration site. So if you go into that registration site, it has the course description in there. And the course description will give you the elevation gains and things like that, the distance, all that good stuff. So it's all there, just not the colorful pictures. Sorry. If I find somebody, or if you know somebody who does charts like that, let me know. I'll reach out to them. The second order of shirts, if you were one of those teams who submitted your shirts after what was it, January 14th, I told you guys that I gave you up to. Then as soon as that second order comes in, I will again put out the message on YouTube and you guys can come and grab your shirts. It's been working pretty well. Usually what happens if you're coming to my house, some of you guys have done that. All I do is pack them up. I put them on my porch if I'm going to be out, and you guys just grab them right off my porch. And I've had no issues with it whatsoever. It's worked really well. If you guys are wanting to come and grab them here, I pack them up at my house, put them in the back of my truck. When you guys show up, I tell you where my truck is. You just grab them right out. They're all tagged. So it works pretty good. We'll try and set up some dates where we set up the tables and give them out, but it just depends on everybody's schedule. I am sending out emails on a somewhat regular basis with the team status sheet. If you're not receiving the emails, please go back into the registration system and verify that your email is entered correctly, because that's where I'm getting all the emails, email addresses. I am just extracting them right out of the system and sending it over to Outlook, and that's how it goes out. So and I'm getting a lot of bounce backs. So if you're not getting my emails, not the individual ones, but the group ones, then it's one of two things. Number one, your agency has blocked us because it's a large group, or number two, because a lot of you guys are using your agencies, or number two, I have the incorrect email address. So the easy fix to that is just make sure that you have the proper email entered into there. Volunteers, like Adina said, she's working on putting all the volunteer stuff together. One thing that on that team status report that keeps coming up is some of you guys are saying, hey, my volunteer information, I sent it to you. So what you're sending is what your volunteer requests are, meaning, hey, what are their top 5 positions, as well as most of you guys are sending their name as well, and that's fine. That goes into our inbox, and I put it in a folder for Adina. That goes directly to Adina. What that form is capturing is off of the website. So each one of you should be sending your volunteers a link. You go back into your registration site and you click on communications, add new, click on the volunteer bubble, put in their email address, put in a subject, and just hit save and send, and it'll send your volunteers a link. They're going to click on that link. They cannot forward, just like the runner's link, they cannot forward it to anybody or to another one of their email addresses. It has to be opened up from that email address, and they just need to fill out that information. I believe there's just a waiver and a few other questions that need to be completed, as well as their contact information. That information, that's what's on the form, the team status form. We're extracting that, or Adina's extracting that information to put together so she can reach out to the volunteers. If for whatever reason, I have had a couple teams say, hey, look, we've done it a couple of times and it's still not showing up on your sheet, let me know. It might be an error on our end, and we'll look into that. And that's about it. Make sure that you guys are sending your runners links out, same exact way that I just explained in regards to the volunteer stuff. Your runners must be registered. That's how they're signing the waivers. For those of you who missed last year, there are no more hard copy waivers. It's all done electronically. So the only way your runner can run is if they're on the roster. And the only way to be on the roster is if you send them a link. Again, same rules apply. It's got to go directly to an email address. They're going to click on that link. They're going to fill out the information. The back of the bib information is on that link. And then there's a video on our YouTube channel that shows you how to move your runners and how to place them. All you got to do is just do a quick little search. I think it's actually entitled Placing Your Runners, I believe is what it's called. So there's plenty of videos there, how-to videos. If there's something that I'm missing that you guys want to see, let me know. I'll make the video. I'll post it on our YouTube channel. In regards to the course itself, it's my understanding there's no construction going on. I've spoken with the Nevada Department of Transportation. I've spoken with Nevada Highway Patrol, and the construction that we had on stage 18 last year is not there. I also had Ruben Gonzalez was out in Vegas last week for SHOT Show, He drove the course 18, 19, and 20. He didn't see any construction. Nevada Department of Transportation says they have nothing on their schedule for any construction. So that's where we're at right now. That doesn't mean that something might not pop up. I'm just telling you that's where we're at right now. I believe that's all I've got for you guys, outside of questions before I send it over. Oh, for the pictures for the bibs, JPEG or PDF is sufficient. JPEG or PDF format. And just send it over, like I said, and we'll for the bib, yes, for the bib. So okay, for the memorial slideshow and the bibs are two entirely different ones. So on your bibs, it doesn't, let me rephrase, let me use my words correctly here. The time of their death is not relevant, meaning you can go back as far as you want on your bibs. For the memorial slideshow that is shown at the award ceremony, that is since the last race to date. So please keep that in mind, because there's actually a field in the questions that ask for date or end of watch date, and that has to be within that time frame. Anybody have questions? Now's your chance, because I'm going to run out of here as soon as I say goodbye. Just kidding. All right, did everyone turn in their, anybody still want to turn in their form for the raffle? Oh, there we go. There we go. All right, Javier's going to go around and collect them. Runner eligibility requirements for the same as with the previous year. Runner eligibility requirements. Okay, so a question came up on Zoom in regards to runner eligibility. In regards to the runner's eligibility, it's all laid out for you guys in our rule book. I don't remember what page it is. Amanda's going to look it up for me, but it's laid out pretty well. If you have a specific question, I can deal with it. But in regards to station, I'll get to you in 1 second. In regards to station, that's really where the big change is. The date for station category is March 1st. So if I get moved and I'm somewhere else March 2nd, I'll use my department for the example. I'm working Topanga and I go to Foothill. If I'm at Topanga on February 28th, but March 1st, I am at Foothill, I belong to Foothill. Now, Foothill's team is already set up and Foothill's like, hey, dude, great. Love that you're here. You're a bitchin' person, but no need for you. Just shoot off an email saying, hey, we don't want this runner. They are eligible to run back for where they came from. Hopefully that makes sense. And it's spelled out in the rule book there. Page 5 and 6 of the rule book. Also, one other change that we made, not on runner eligibility, but since we're on the topic of changes, is there will be a meeting that Friday night in Vegas. Friday night, we will have a meeting. I believe the time is 1800. It's right at the closure of team registration or team check-in rather. We'll have a meeting and we'll have signs as to where that's exactly going to be. Question?
You said that's going to be on Friday?
Get your doctor to sign and get that person's doctor just to sign off saying that, hey, they're good to go. Say again? He's good to run, then as long as the doc is solid on it, then we're good. Smitty's was supposed to be here. I believe they're en route. He must have got caught in traffic. But he's on his way. That's what I was told. I didn't speak to Smitty myself, though. Other questions? In the back. March 17th. Absolutely. Over here. Add or subtract runners until your final run plan is in. And that'll probably be the Monday. I think we did the Monday before, the Monday of race week. Okay, questions from Zoom.
baton to carry when we check on Friday, or can we use past race baton?
Okay, so the batons, you all spoke, I listened. You guys didn't like the fluorescent orange or green batons with no labels on it. So, nor did you like the duct tape on either end holding in the timing chips. So our timing company realized, hey, look, this is a race out in the desert. They were some things that were unforeseen and they've made improvements. So we ordered the batons. They're going to put nice stickers on them. Those stickers will hold the timing chips, and your runners will get those batons at stage 1 when they check in. Please, I cannot emphasize this enough. Make sure, and I know it's not you guys, I know you tell your runners, but make sure your runner's there on time, because what happens is they will get penalized, number one, if they're not there. I believe it's 30 minutes before to check in, because there's going to be a briefing. They're going to make sure that they hand out those batons, and then they start to get penalized if they're not. And the last thing we need, and this is across the race course, is people using excessive speed. Okay, so please understand that. That is a concern. It's always a concern with NHP, with all the different agencies. Remember, we drive and run through 4 different counties in 2 states. There's a lot of coordination that goes along with that. There's a lot of permission that's granted to us for that. And that permission can be taken away very quickly. So please make sure that your runners are getting there with ample time, and that they understand, especially your stage 1 runner, because the misconception is, hey, it's right off the 15, right there by the thermometer. No, it's not. Yeah, right. And we've all been there, because I've had my stage 1 runner show up and he's like, hey, where are you guys at? I'm at the thermometer. And we'll keep driving about 30 miles and you'll hit us. So please make sure that you emphasize that to your runners. Yes, ma'am. It'll be secured in the baton. There'll be mats on the floor, as long as they're just handing it across. And I'll put out an actual video how we want your runners staged, because we want one runner on either side of, the incoming and the outgoing, if you will. And the exchange is going to take place over that mat. Was there any other questions? Okay.
Where can we buy the white reflective numbers for our follow view?
All right, so the reflective numbers. I've purchased mine in the past from Lowe's or Home Depot. You can go there. I'm never trying to take business away from Smitty's, but if Smitty's is not convenient, that's always an option. And it's been my experience that Amazon has everything. So.
You mentioned in the past there's an app available to track our follow vehicles. That is pretty accurate track.
So the app will come out later on as we get closer to the race. And for those of you who are returning or new to the race, what it is Verizon in conjunction with Gemini, who does our timing, they have a communication system set up out there. So what happens is, as the baton gets handed off, you will receive an alert. You have to register for this, but you'll receive an alert that, hey, my runner just finished stage, whatever it is, stage 1, whatever. And so that's one way of tracking. The only caveat to that is if you're in a dead zone, if your stage is in a dead zone and there's no communication there, you won't receive that message until they're back in an area where there's communication. So the next stage that they cut across. So let's say, off the top of my head, stage 4 and 5, I think are pretty dead spots, at least for my carrier. So if you don't have connectivity there, or we don't have it there, you won't receive it until they get to the next stage. Any other questions from Zoom? Any other questions out here? Yes.
You can actually follow. So our team, we had a couple of teams that we were watching, started at different times, so we were able to track their kind of punch.
Absolutely. Yeah, great point. And for those of you on Zoom who didn't hear, or those of you in the back, you can track multiple teams. So, if it's your competitors and you guys, didn't start at the same time, or it's a divisional thing, or, an interagency thing, you can track multiple teams. And I'll send that out as soon as Gemini gets that over to me. Any other questions? All right, folks, as I always end, I thank you all for your time. I know it's valuable. Thank you guys very much. Stay safe out there, please, and continue to train hard. Take care, you guys.